Hi, everybody. Welcome to the SyFy Sistas show. We got some incredible guests tonight. I'm Sister Tamia. I'm joined by my sisters, Sister Yvette.
Oh, hello. Oh, sorry.
Sister Sabrina.
Whoop, whoop.
And Sister Fran, who is muted.
Still muted.
My signature.
There we go.
What's happening?
What's happening, Fran? What's happening is that we have this amazing panel of people with us here tonight to talk about STEAM superheroes, and it's so amazing. I've got to give you everybody's bio because you're going to be like floored by all the esteemedness that's up here. Esteemedness. That's my word, and I coined
the
it.
Word for the week.
Everybody knows. Put that on the SATs.
Right.
So we have Miss Linda Serricchio. Hi, Linda, who is the president of the STEAM Superheroes, who was working in human resources for 35 years and really spent a lot of time doing community and campus outreach to increase women and diversity in STEAM careers. And she has a master's degree in public administration with a focus on human resource management. So hi, Linda, and we love her very much. And we've known Linda for a long time, and we love her to pieces. She's a fireball full of energy and goodwill towards all men and women. Yes. So what's up, Linda? A super good human, and super excited to have Robert Jeffery with us today, an award-winning, nominated professional writer for video games, comic books, tabletop gaming, prose fiction, and journalism. Y'all know who he is, Trekkies. He has over 19 years of experience, and he's done some awesome things with people like DC Comics and the Centers for Disease Control and a bunch of other folks. And so we're super excited to have you here. Hi, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, y'all. I'm geeking out because I'm a fan of this podcast. I'm a huge fan. I was looking for Black folks who talk about Star Trek, and I found the podcast like last year. So I'm huge. So like my indirect path to being on this podcast. So thank you for having me on.
Oh, thank you for being here. Thanks for listening.
Yes. I know, right? Thank you for that too. That's awesome. This lady, oh my gosh, is she cool? Dr. Aidyl Gonzalez. She's a scientist, an educator, a social justice advocate. We are all like, I'm bowing down to you. You're so dope. She specializes in molecular, in molecular genetics and developmental biology. We've got to get you on with Dr. Noor.
Yes.
We need to have a show with the two of you guys.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah. She explores microbial life in extreme environments and inspires young minds with her bilingual children's book, Gigi and Nema, or is it Nema?
Nema.
Guardians of the Soil. Aidyl leads citizen science projects and promotes inclusivity in STEM. And she is recognized as one of the 50 people, who change. 50 people changing the world. 50 people changing what?
The world. Everything. The world.
That's what I'm talking about. That's how we roll.
That's it.
That's how we roll. And none last, but certainly not least, and first in our hearts, and we feel like she's our family now too, Ms. Marion Smothers, sister of our beloved Nichelle Nichols, keeper of the legacy. Love you so much, Ms. Smothers. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm just thrilled to be here. This is great. I love what you do. This is absolutely wonderful. So thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. And so we have this group of people together because you're probably wondering, what is STEAM superheroes? Why should I care about STEAM superheroes? And how in God's name does it relate to anything called Star Trek? And I want to tell you that all these people are here because this whole endeavor is inspired by Star Trek. And that's why we're here tonight to talk about it. Linda, you want to lead us through and let us know what is STEAM superheroes?
Yeah, so STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math. And our entire team are all Star Trek fans. And I'm talking hardcore Star Trek fans. If you go to our website and you look at our board and board of advisors, almost everyone has a PhD or is working on a PhD. Most everybody works at NASA or JPL, and every single person took the career path they did because of Star Trek. And if you go to our website, steamsuperheroes.org, there is Star Trek quotes all over the website, because each and every one of us can honestly say our lives took the path that it did because of Star Trek. And so what we want to do with Steam Superheroes is, how do we get, Star Trek inspired so many people to go into science and medicine and all of that. So we want to do the same thing. We want to inspire individuals. So we'll talk a little bit later about our comic book, but that's going to be our big thing that we're doing, is to use that to inspire the next generation. And so we're really excited. And Robert is our author of the comic book. And so, we've got a lot of things going on. I do want to share just a couple of things, again, that are very Star Trek related. So one of the things we've done is, there's a school in Uganda called the Chrysalis School. And it's a nonprofit school, and most of these kids didn't even have access to the internet or computers. There we go. Access to the internet or computers until they started going to the school. And so the headmaster realized that the best way to get them to understand about science and math and engineering in the future, because it really came from an isolated area, is Star Trek. So they watch Star Trek on a regular basis. They have a Star Trek fan club. And that's how they've really been able to teach them. And when I had let Dawn Lewis from Lower Decks know about this school, she sprung into action, and she sent me a 5-pound box of autographs and posters and stickers and all of that, which I sent to the school. So that's what you see right now, them opening up all the stuff that Dawn sent them. So I wanted to give a shout out to her, because that was pretty amazing. And through our Meet Esteem Superhero program, we have already arranged for them to meet with folks from NASA, which has been amazing to these young people to actually talk to folks who are working on the Artemis project and a lot of things right now that these kids right now are dreaming that someday they get to work on those things as well. So everything that we do is very Star Trek focused, and they're an amazing group of students.
I love
And
that.
so
That
what
is
I
so cool.
Yeah, it is. And I'll tell you, they are so appreciative. And what was really interesting for me is the first phone call I had with them was for an hour. And now, mind you, these are high school kids living in Uganda, very different backgrounds. We spent an hour talking about Star Trek. Literally an entire episode. What is your favorite episode? Talking about the characters, talking about who your favorite captain is. And I think that's what Star Trek is about, is you can take any individuals who love Star Trek and put them in the room, and no matter what their background is, it's that common theme that right away we connected. Their favorite Deep Space Nine episode is In the Pale Moonlight. And so we had a lengthy conversation about that. Yeah, which was pretty interesting. So what I want to do next is I want to turn it over to Aidyl. I wanted to talk a little bit about our STEAM Academy, because that's going to be a large component of what we're doing, is outreach and hands-on activities to be able to get kids excited about careers in STEAM.
Sounds perfect.
Hola, everyone. Such an honor to be here. Thank you, Linda, for that overview. Oh my God. Let me fangirl down.
Yeah.
Yes. True story. If it wasn't for Nichelle Nichols, I've written this, I talked about this, besides a cockroach, but seeing Nichelle Nichols, who looked like my tia, saying, Latina, Afro-Latina, speak many languages, know how to fight, and an astronaut and a scientist. And then I'm looking well, then let me do it. So I am holy snap. Who's crying? I'm not crying. Oh, I've been. So the STEAM Academy is basically an opportunity for students from middle school to early high school to basically have hands-on experience on already established areas in STEAM. And this is the brainchild of Dr. Swati Mohan. and she is developing, please correct me, Linda, it's an opportunity for students to actually see, hear, and be STEM. And where I come in is to take it further into hopefully get into science fairs and even beyond, because students right now don't have to wait to go to college. They can actually participate in research right now. There's citizen science work besides, the one I have. There is Zooniverse that you could actually discover new exoplanets, or you can actually look at what's going on with the red algae in the oceans, or why is there a higher percentage of allergies going on. And in STEAM superheroes, we have so many individuals with diverse expertise, not only in STEM, but in literature and humanity efforts, that all you have to do is just contact us, and we're here to help and lift up.
Oh, I love that. That is so cool. I mean, that's the whole reason why we are so in love with you all. I mean, you just said it, to lift up. I mean, and that's the whole purpose. It's our whole reason for being,
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's amazing.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed by
wish
this.
I had this when I was a kid.
I was just
Yes.
ready to say that. I wish this was around when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But it's around now.
One thing I want.
You can participate. So from 5 to 105, don't limit yourself. I mean, I have individuals doing research that are 85 years old. So please, anyone who's listening, don't say, "Oh, I wish you have it now." So participate.
Wow.
It's not only for the young ones, which are our future world changers, but we are the world changers now. I'm a Gen X. I was born in the 70s, and you're supposed to say, "Wow, you look good."
Yeah,
You look great.
You look younger. You look way younger than me.
Yeah,
though.
because we're Gen Xers too. So, but I'm an old one.
Yeah, but it shows that life does not stop unless you choose it to stop.
I agree.
So you can participate. So yes, I wish it was earlier, but we have it now. So I just wanted to make sure everybody hears that.
Girl, did y'all hear Dr. Aidyl coming in here and throwing down all of this on us just like that? I'm like,
she's like, don't even try. She's like, don't even try to go back and make excuses. Get your ass together. Get it right. Woo, that's it, right, Tanya? Ride or die, Gen X. That's it.
Gen X, ride or die, baby. Linda, you were about to say something. What were you about to say, love?
Yeah, so I want everybody to know that we have on our website, because what we want to do is provide resources. Is we have a resource page. Our team of STEAM superheroes have been trying to find scholarships, free resources online, everything and anything, like a lot of the stuff that Aidyl was talking about by citizen projects. They're all on our resource page. We have a lot of information on there. So if you've got kids, please feel free to go there, take a look at what we have, see what opportunities there are. Everything is free. We want to make sure there's no paywalls or barriers to the kids being able to access the information on the website. One other thing that I want to add, if there's any teachers here or leaders of Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts or Boys and Girls Club, would love for you to reach out to us at info@steamsuperheroes.org. You can just go to our website or do contact us. But we do have a Meet a STEAM Superhero program where we would love to be able to, depending on where you live, either a virtual Zoom call or an on-site event that we can host with hands-on activities for students anywhere from like grade school through high school or even college. So again, teachers, anything like that, feel free to reach out to us, because we'd love to partner with you and give you access to our scientists. So
I love that.
And then one
That's
other
great.
thing too.
I love that.
That's great. One other thing too. So the reason why Marion is here is because this was actually her idea. Me and her were having a conversation one night, and she knows that we're all big Star Trek fans, and she knows that a lot of us do outreach and education. And we were having a conversation one night, and she jokingly said, "Why don't you just start a nonprofit?" And I kind of laughed at that and said, "Yeah, right." And she goes, "No, I really think you should do that." And she's really kind of been our cheerleader and our rock through this entire process. She's the one who helped us find the comic book team. Honestly, through the whole process, I could not have done this if I did not have her as my support system. So that's why we want to give a shout out to Marion. And then what I want to do, yeah. And so what I want to do, I'm going to turn it over. I want to talk about the comic book for a little bit, but what I want to let everybody know, this is kind of an announcement. Marion's going to tell a story about Nichelle, and that's how we're going to honor Nichelle in our comic book. So tell the story.
Am I on? I don't know what happened to me seeing myself, but I think I've just taken myself out. Can you see me?
Yes.
Yep, we can see you.
Oh, okay. I can no longer see myself. I don't know what I did. I tried to anyway. I'm getting old, so but yeah, Linda and I were talking, and we were talking about what we're going to do about STEM, and we had so many ideas going on, and she is so prolific, and I just said to her one day, you know what? I said, why don't you just start your own? I said, you got so much energy and so knowledgeable about what needs to be done. And I think you just need to get out there and do it. And so pretty much that's how we got going. Next thing I know, she was off and running, which I knew she would.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then tell the story about Nichelle.
Oh, about
tell
Nichelle.
The story about how we're going to honor Nichelle in the comic book. Yeah, tell the story about.
Oh, okay. I think, well, you tell it best. But what we'd like to do, I was telling her also, we were trying to think of ways that we could honor Nichelle. And I had told her that Nichelle went through, she was born Grace Dell Nichols. And of course, that's not a great name for a stage. And so she was always piddling around with it. And very early on, she had come up with the name Nichelle. And quite a few of her friends started calling her Nichelle even before, and but some of her iterations early on, I was still a little kid, but I can remember her managers wanting her to go by the name Lynn Mayfair. And this was like in the days of, I guess, the Marilyn Monroes and the Marilyn Maxwells and those names, Zsa Zsa Gabor's. So they wanted to call her Lynn Mayfair, and she said, no way. So she came up with several different names. For a while, she was Grace Nicole, and then let's see, but she ended up for Grace Nichelle for quite a while. And I would say that was probably in the 60s, early 60s. So she was going by Grace Nichelle, and her friends would call her Nichelle. So she just turned it around eventually. I don't remember exactly when, but I think by the time she did the Lieutenants, was 1963, I guess, she had settled on Nichelle Nichols.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's a story that nobody seemed to know. So when she said the name Grace Nichelle, that really resonated with our team. And
Yeah,
so I'm going to talk a little bit about the comic. Yep, I'm going to talk a little bit about the comic book, and then I'm going to turn it over to Robert to kind of talk about it a little bit. But the idea of the comic book is it's nothing like this has ever been done before. So we're really excited about it. We're going to use real scientists. So it's not going to be made up stuff. So the comic book is going to be a little bit in the future. It's going to be based on 4 of our board members that are scientists and engineers. And the characters are actually going to be based on them, their backgrounds, the things that they like, because we want kids to start seeing scientists and engineers as superheroes. Because there's a lot of misconceptions about scientists are boring and, they don't have a fun life. And, we want people to see that science and education is a superpower, and you can do so much good in the world through education. So we're going to turn folks into superheroes, but one of our main characters, and I'm not going to say because we're going to keep it a secret, but this character is going to have a very key role in the comic book, is going to be called Grace Nichelle. And so really excited about that. So that's how we're going to honor her. And then one other thing I'm going to announce before I turn it over to Robert, because this is something that Yvette knows, but the other SyFy Sistas does not. Aidyl's character that it's going to be based on in the comic book is going to be wearing a SyFy Sistas t-shirt. So we are including you. We are including you guys. We are including you guys. Yes. Yes. In the comic book.
So cool. Yay!
So yeah, we wanted to honor you guys. And for those of you who don't know, Sabrina is actually our treasurer of Steam Superheroes. So she's actually on our board, and again, could not have done it without her, because the treasurer is such a key role, and was very excited when she kind of came on board. So Robert, talk a little bit about your background. He's a huge Star Trek fan. And we're really excited that he's on the team. So talk a little bit about your background and a little bit about what you're looking to do.
Yeah. I as you can see by the Enterprise blueprint, I don't know if I'm pointing in the right direction. Star Trek is my favorite fandom. So it's a weirdly great happenstance that I'm working with the Steam Superheroes on this, especially filled with the great minds that are a part of the board, and everybody is they're Star Trek fans. So my favorite Trek show is DS9. I actually listened to y'all's interviews with the interview with recently with the writer of the autobiography of Benjamin Sisko. Just read that. I'm in the process.
Derek.
Yeah, Derek. Yeah, I didn't want to mispronounce his last name. And
Derek Tyler Attico.
There we go. Awesome. And currently doing a rewatch of Enterprise and reading a Star Trek novel by the name of Death in Winter. So I'm trekked up. So, but as far as my background with writing, started off as a journalist with the Atlanta Voice newspaper once I got out of college, and spent years doing that, and then moved into doing more creative writing with comic books, video games, tabletop RPGs, and prose fiction. And more recently, I worked as a video game writer for Blowfish Studios on a few games, but one of them being a mech action adventure space opera called Phantom Galaxy. So I always kind of pride myself as far as being a jack of all trades. I get bored writing just one thing. So I just love writing. So Ben, the artist on this, Ben Herrera, I know I'm mispronouncing his last name, brought me on board as a writer. And when he explained the concept to me and I met with Linda and the team, I got even more excited, because this is this is our future. This is essentially teaching kids about STEM and STEAM, and doing it through the medium of comic books. I think is perfect. So I have a little bit of experience of doing the edutainment side of things when it comes to with comic books, but this is a project that's kind of right up my alley. Especially with being a Star Trek and primarily science fiction fan. So those are my 2 cents, as far as my background and love of Star Trek, and just all of that. I love old Trek, new Trek. Shout out to Star Trek Discovery. Y'all carried the torch so we can exist again on TV. And this is like a dream come true. So that's
disco.
Yes, yay! TS9 in the house, baby.
It's the best. It's the best Trek, and fight me for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. Look at JR.
JR
Put my money at the screen for the comic. Take it on.
Yeah, so JR, so we do have the funding So we do have the funding for the first comic, but what we really want to do is be able to write the second comic book quickly. We don't want a long period. So if anybody wants to go to the website and donate, please feel free to do so, because we're hoping the first comic book. What do you think, Robert? October? You think I think we were talking about September, October. We think we'll be able to have it launch the first one?
It's a discussion I think we should have a bin, but yeah, definitely.
We're on that track.
This is not the place for that discussion.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it's just like, I like to be real. So like, let's, I think definitely we're on a good track. We're on a good track.
Yeah.
I actually sent in, to kind of give everybody a peek behind the curtain. I submitted or sent in the outline for the story today. So we're moving at a really good pace. And I will say, with the experience that I've had with making comic books, we're moving along at a really, really good pace. So I'm excited, to see where it leads. But we're right on track.
That's awesome.
Fran, I'm sorry.
Hold
on. Give us 1 sec. Fran, what were you trying to say before?
Oh, I just wanted to tell Linda, she talked about the school and their favorite DS9 episode. We did a top 10 DS9 episode of our own podcast, and it was our favorite. It was our number one. And The Pale Moonlight was our number one episode of DS9. I just wanted you to know that.
Okay.
I just had to.
And if at some point, if you ever wanted to, I can arrange for you to maybe have one of the students. We have a couple from that school. I'm talking hardcore Star Trek fans. If you ever want them on your show, let me know. I'm sure they would love to be able to do something like that. And they're amazing students. I mean, they're amazing. And to sit and like I said, they love Star Trek. I mean, you saw they're building a Starfleet headquarters. They're building their own uniforms. I mean, these kids are taking Star Trek very, very seriously. It's literally changing their lives, because it was the way that the school was able to show them the future that they could have for themselves through Star Trek.
Aidyl,
so they're very inspirational.
Aidyl, what were you saying about what's behind you?
Oh yeah, I just want to get sassy and throwing ideas for a comic book writer. You see this behind me? So I found this. I lived in a cave for about a week in Portugal. So doing some astrobiology work. Yeah, it's so beyond cool. And there's hidden life. So we took, I took a UV light and I just shined. And then I called it the exploded Elmo, which is right here. And I finished analyze it. So that's me with my Q-tip right there. So I was analyzing. I brought it to the lab. I sequenced it, I analyzed it, fixed out the taxonomy, and it's archaea. So this is like an old extremophile. I can't tell you much more, but this is such a useful life form that is with us, and I'm wondering how we could incorporate this into a comic book. Hint, 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 hint. But in reality, this is what life. I love that. Yes, it's gorgeous. It's in Tercera Island. I lived in the Gruta de Natal in Tercera. So we lived there for a week. So I was part of the Comoich. And there's so many beautiful life forms that we don't see until you have a different light source. And we saw purples and greens and gold. And this critter behind me can be utilized for so many things in order to save our planet, bioremediation. So we have mysteries that we can explore. And if you're 5 to 105, my fellow Gen Xers, I could always use you. We can actually think together and figure out how we could use this to clean the oceans. How can we use this to reduce CO2 levels? How can we use this to aid in like dementia? So I just wanted to show that mysteries are out there and we all have to just come together collectively and figure things out. And plus it's gorgeous. Don't you think of that?
It really is.
and what's a Star Trek comic without caves?
Right?
Gotta have a cave episode.
How perfect is that?
Me and Sabrina were just talking about we're gonna do top 10 cave episodes. We actually went through I think we went through every single one in 20 minutes and make comment.
Did you guys happen to bring up the one with Kira and Odo in the cave?
Yes,
Was
yes.
that on the list?
Oh, yeah, with
Yep, that was on the list.
change name. That
Yep.
one.
Yep,
Mhm.
that one. Oh yeah, it all yeah. Caves, I tell you.
So we have some questions.
I didn't mind mailed yet.
We had Gen Xers assemble. Cassandra asked a great question. How
Yes.
can we get involved with the school via STEAM Superheroes? Great work.
And speaking of Cassandra, go ahead.
So the best thing to do is if you go to our website, again, just email us at info@steamsuperheroes.org, and then we happy to reach out to you. One other thing that I forgot to mention, and it's something that Aidyl kind of be leading the charge on this, the science that's going to be in the comic book, we're actually going to turn it into lesson plans so that we're hoping to get it into the classrooms. So it'll be really cool that, here you can give to your students a comic book to read, and then you're going to have the science that will be attached to it. And because our scientists are going to be working with Robert and Ben, making sure that the science is accurate. So we're going to have a lot of really cool lesson plans. The other thing I want to mention is we're going to be launching probably within the next month or two a YouTube channel, and we're going to have a show that's run by students for students. And one of the things we're going to do on it is they will interview the scientist, and we'll also have additional the science that you read in the comic book. You'll be able to go to the YouTube channel and learn directly from the scientists more about that science. So one thing that's important to us is we want young people, we want an 8-year-old to enjoy it, and we want a 12-year-old to enjoy the comic book, but we also want the Star Trek fans to say, oh my God, this is so cool, and then learn more about the science that we have in there. So the comic book really is going to be for anybody who loves science and superheroes. And again, Aidyl is going to kind of lead the charge because she's an educator to make sure that all the lesson plans and everything that we offer is accurate. And the comic book will be available for free download on our website, both in English and Spanish. But we also are going to offer it as a hard copy that you can purchase. And all the money raised from the hard copy will go towards the next comic book.
Cool. Like it.
Wow. I'm with JR. Take my money.
Take just
Take my
see why I
money.
jumped on. I had to jump on this. Because since Miss Marion asked me so nicely.
Hold on. I think she's muted. Hold on. Sorry. Go ahead, Miss Marion. You're unmuted.
Oh, well, thank you. I was just enjoying that background and that's behind Aidyl. I was wondering what it was, and it's a life form. That's so amazing. But you guys just blow me away. That's wonderful. Yeah.
So awesome.
I feel like that every meeting we have. I sit there, I'm the numbers person, and I'm listening to all this stuff going on, and I'm like this, my head is going like this from listening to every person. I get so excited after these meetings. I'm so jazzed about this.
Well, when we talked and Linda came up, it said, let's do it. You should do something yourself. And she came up with the superheroes and we talked about it and she just ran with it, and her ideas just come. Her mind just works like that and her ideas just come. And I think the way she's able to pull these things together is just amazing. So thank you, all of you for loving Star Trek. I've lived it all my life, so it's just wonderful to see all of the love. It's wonderful.
Well, can I go a little bit off script and ask you guys, briefly, if you can talk about, outside of just inspiring the profession that you're in, if you can talk about how Star Trek has affected you as a human being, and to making you the human being that you are. I mean, Miss Marion, I know that it's had a profound effect on you. If you want to start.
Oh gosh, where do I start? Just to see my sister star, in the role, take that role that they gave her to do as a communication officer on Star Trek. And after that, use that to launch a minority program to take to NASA and say, where are my people? I want my people. We didn't have any astronauts or anything like that, that were of color. And she used the Star Trek platform to be able to launch a secondary career, not only for herself, but for so many young people to get involved in space and do that. And it had a profound effect on me as I was having children during those years that she was working so hard, and them getting to see how they can move within the space that we call our world, and it's been just miraculous to be a part of it, even as family, yes, but as at a distance, and being able to look at it and see it grow and how it's grown. It's just been immensely gratifying to me and my family to be a part of it.
Love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Aidyl.
Yeah, I just had to write that. If a person doesn't see what they could be, if they don't see themselves, how can they know what they can be and more? We shouldn't, like, Star Trek made me feel that I do belong, even though my environment said I don't. And I know whenever I wore, and my brother's shirt was Spock's uniform, and I used to go to different places, and there was always someone who used to go like this to me, and at least I had connections. But besides a cockroach, if it wasn't for seeing Lieutenant Uhura and still being true to herself, and I'm like, that's cool, and speaking different languages and knowing how to fight and being an astronaut and making an impact, and she not only had the seat at the table, but she also led that. I said to myself, I'm not going to be that stereotype in the inner city, because I told some of you where I grew up, it was a success story if you were not pregnant by 8th grade. And that was just how it is. The South Bronx was a forgotten place. And having Star Trek to say, hey, we all just come from a small little ball. There's more of us that have similarities than not. That's what changed my life. I kept on knowing that I belonged, even though others tried to throw me away. I'm like, no, I was just like that cockroach. I kept on knowing, saying, no, I belong. I love STEM. I know I can be. And then hopefully I will be up in the stars, continuing my research and also studying Alzheimer's, because that's what I do in the lab a lot too.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, thank you, Nichelle. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Thanks, Robert. You want to share?
Yeah. So for me, I love space operas. So I am Star Trek is like, for me, it's like first and foremost with that. I'm a sci-fi head. I'm an 80s baby, so the Next Generation was what I started off with. But Deep Space Nine was the one that made an impression. But even going back to the original series, and as compared to another franchise that has Star at the beginning of it, Star Trek started off at least with on the main crew, and then in the background, I saw people that looked like the folks that I saw on the south side of Chicago, or when I went into the city with my mom, when my mom and my brother and I would go in to work with her on the weekends. She was a paralegal, so it was the diversity. It was just like we made it to the future, that thing. So that was very big and very apparent to me. But the other side of that was we had collectively as humanity had gone through so much BS World War III, the eugenics wars and so forth, Romulan wars and all that. But we had finally gotten to a point where things were good. Now, if you went out into the different quadrants or different parts of space, things got kind of rough, when you encountered all of these different civilizations. But the sense of hope and just peace and kind of love that we had here on Earth, that we had gotten past all of the strife, for the most part, was something that's kind of stuck with me. And I don't see that in a lot of other franchises, this sense of hope. And it's something that as a kid, I kind of latched onto as a creative, as a writer, diversity, inclusion, hope, and adventure. It all kind of, you find it in my work, but it all goes back to Star Trek, for me. And, Captain Sisko is my captain. That crew,
Yes.
that DS9 crew is my crew.
One of us. He's one of us.
One of us.
Definitely.
I love every iteration of Star Trek, because there's a little bit there for everybody, and I like that. You don't find that with many franchises. And even though we have some bad actors, who don't support the diversity side of things, I think for the most part, we started off good, and we are going to continue to push the diversity, inclusion, and just a sense of hope, because we need it now more than ever. So that's kind of like my love of Trek. So, and how I came to it.
I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Tamia said he's of the body.
He's of the body. Yes. Come on, Linda. I know you got a good one for us.
I think she's.
Well, I've been Yeah, am I frozen?
Yeah.
Now your picture's frozen, but your
picture's frozen.
We can hear you just
okay, you
fine,
can hear
though.
me. Okay.
So I'm just gonna let you talk.
I've been a fan since 1966, not to date myself or anything, but I've been a fan since it first came on. And so what I love, being a female in the 60s, to actually see women being equal to men was really something that you just didn't see back then.
Yeah.
So for me, it's always inspired me. And I just want to say that Steam Superheroes would not have happened without the team. I cannot stress enough that I think of us like the Enterprise, where if it wasn't for everybody on the team has played their part, this wouldn't have even been possible. I mean, Steam Superheroes exist because there's so many passionate people who want this to happen. And then one other thing I want to add, which is kind of unique about the comic book, because we're talking about diversity, we actually did a little bit of an outreach to some students, and we did a survey kind of wanting to know what they wanted. And it's interesting when you talk to a 12-year-old, because diversity to them isn't only color of skin or gender, it's who they are. And so one of the things that they said was, like maybe they might have a friend who's dyslexic or has ADHD or something like that, and that people don't always accept that. So there's different types of diversity. So one of the things we're going to do in the comic book is one of our Steam Superheroes really does have ADHD. So that's going to be in the comic book. And one is a type 1 diabetic. So we are going to put that in the comic book. So we're going to show that diversity is more than one thing. Diversity is who you are. And what makes you is unique, and it can be many different things. So we want kids to read our comic book and see someone that looks like them and represents them. And if you look at our team overall, it's very diverse. So you'll see that our Steam Superheroes will come from many different ethnic backgrounds and have many different hobbies and interests that will be incorporated into the story.
That's
Can't
so
wait.
cool, Linda. I know, right? Sabrina,
For those who want to learn, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, because I love that, Linda, thank you for even including that not only cultural differences, neurodivergent differences, able body versus differently bodied, that all brings unique points of view for innovation, for technology. That's what makes us humanity. And for those who really are geeky and love numbers and see the statistics behind why is it so important to have for a given project with, people with the same passion, but needing different perspective and cultures and all the flavors is so needed, and then it's more powerful. So the book is called The Difference by Scott Page, and he discusses how significant it is. You can have a group of individuals of the same culture. They're the brainiest of all brainiest. They will not outcompete a diverse group able to work together because they're bringing their true selves into it and solving a given problem. So it's powerful. So if anyone is like those kind of numbers, like me, The Difference is called.
And Sabrina, you're not alone. Oh my God. I'm so appreciative of you guys coming and sharing this with us, because this is a really exciting endeavor. And that's one of the reasons why, it was important to us to have you on the show, to introduce you to the community and introduce the community to you. It's that the beautiful thing I find with Trek is that with the fandom, it's a symbiotic relationship, between the fandom and the franchise, and we all thrive off of one another. And so this is a perfect example of how we can thrive together. The school is extremely inspiring, the work you guys are doing in the school, and I know that people want to continue to help with that, and push that forward, and see the organization grow and its outreach grow, to be able to touch a lot more young lives, and not just, as you said, not just young lives. You're touching lives right here, right now in this chat, being inspiring and letting us know, like, it's not too late, baby.
Nope. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And one last point
Say
I want to
that
make: we
again.
are a 501.
What happened?
Oh.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying that it's never too late. I just wanted to, say that again, emphasize, underline everything. It's never too late. Please.
I love that.
I
Wow.
love that.
I put perspective on a
One
lot
other
of
thing I
things.
want
Hold on, Miss Marion.
Oh.
I got you. Hold on.
One other real quick thing is we are a 501c3. And I just wanted to share a real quick story, because I think Nichelle has been with us on our journey. Me and Marion have talked about that. When we decided to do this, we were told it would take 4 to 6 months to get our 501c3. We submitted the paperwork and we got it in 9 days.
Mhm.
I called
Wow.
the IRS to make sure that it wasn't a mistake,
It's
because
real.
I was like,
It was
what?
supposed to be. Yep.
And I called Marion and I
She
said,
called the
I think
IRS.
Nichelle, I think
I made Linda fat.
I
Send
did.
me the list. Send me the letter. That was wild.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I know, because I mean, Sabrina will tell you. She's like, "What? We got it already?" She's like, "No, it never happens that quickly."
Never.
So, never. So that was kind of a sign, I think, that somebody up there was watching out for us, because
Was
we
it
got our
Trekkie at the
501c3.
IRS?
There was
Maybe,
a
I don't know.
Trekkie at the IRS. Miss Marion, you had something to say?
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I was just agreeing with Linda, because when she told me that it came in less than 2 weeks, we just couldn't believe it. It was fantastic. So it was like somebody up there is watching over us and what we're doing with this.
It's meant to be. That's everything happens for a reason. I say that all the time, and this was meant to be. Good humans are putting their heads together to do the good work, as we always say. We watch Star Trek and we want to be that. We want that to be our future, and we know it has to start with us. And so, when you do things for the right reason, I believe most of the time it does work out. So I'm so proud of all of you. I really am. I don't know how else to send my gratitude to you. It's just that the proud that I feel, because I believe in STEM, and I've believed in it when it wasn't a thing. In 1995, when I had my first child, I said, this kid is not going to be scared of math. That's where I started, and then it just went from there. So when this came up, it was like, this is what I was talking about. This is what I meant. This is the way it's supposed to be,
this should be something. And when Aidyl just said it's for everyone, that just blew my mind because I'm like, wow, I didn't think of that.
Right.
You know, I'm
Yes.
still thinking. I still have a brain. I can still do stuff. You know, so
Amen to that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I have not met a scientist like myself or an educator, engineers, any aspect of STEAM. And I'm also including the arts because without the arts, that's the humanity component of
Yes. Yep.
STEAM,
Yep.
how all this comes together.
hmm
It's never solitary. You do it because you want to communicate a message or
Right.
save a planet. I just want to share this anecdote. Like my boys are not STEM kids, but
hmm
they appreciate STEM. They appreciate what we do. So my older one, he's an artist and he wanted to convey, he knew the work that I was doing. And he's like, I want to convey to individuals who do not understand what's going on climate wise or environmentally wise. I want to have a symbol. So he actually took a tree, he made a guillotine, he had the rope attached to an ice cube, and then notice over time the ice cube will melt, and then you have the guillotine,
Yeah.
chop the tree.
Yep.
But like,
Mhm.
how impactful is that? Because I would not have thought of it. I would have been just,
Right.
So we need that interconnection between all disciplines and with our humanities to really communicate with one another,
Right.
especially with individuals who are a different thinker,
hmm
find different ways to communicate. I'm just saying, I'm speaking to the choir because we're lifting each other up and we want to
That's
lift
right.
other up. It's never too late. It's never an alone project because if you want to
Right.
be alone, then like, why? And this is where there's my why. So,
Yeah.
okay, I'll be right now.
Yes, I totally agree. Arts is definitely part of it. I've always said STEAM because I just always believe arts. You can't do a lot of this stuff without arts. The arts, you have to have that, you know, and it's part of that big brain philosophy of, you know, like you said, we all think differently. It's okay to think differently. It's okay to be neurodivergent isn't a we all are neurodivergent. I don't care what anybody says. We all are. And we need to stop putting people in these little boxes. You know, that's who we all are. Because otherwise, how do we get things done if we don't think differently? You know, so that's my soapbox. Sorry.
I just
Listen,
want to say, I just
Go
want
ahead,
to
Fran.
I just want to say thank you for saying it's never too late.
Mhm.
Because sometimes I feel left out when people are talking about stuff because I'm not really a boomer. I'm look it up. I'm Generation Jones. Okay, there is another generation. Because I wasn't born right after the war. Okay, the war was 40s. I was born in the 50s, and there is a Generation Jones. But sometimes I feel so left out when people are talking about stuff like this. And just thank you for saying it's not too late, that it still can be done. I appreciate it so much. I feel so a part of. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you
Come with me. It was like literally, you could work with me right now, and we'll work. I'll send you a microscope and everything. And you can help me collect data. You got this. I mean, and I guarantee you'll see
I see it
something that I
now.
never see before. Forget about. But we chit chat offline. I'm not kidding. I got everybody here. Linda, tell them
Yeah.
I'm nuts. Yeah, because I throw science at everybody. Yes.
Next month, you'll be working for a month as friend. Okay, we're having science hour, and
Yep.
I'm going to show you guys how this works.
let's do it.
I love it.
I think everybody out there listening is like, I want to come with you too.
Right.
I know it. I'm trying
can I
not
have
to
a
raise
work-
my hand for the microscope. I'm trying not to get the microscope. All right.
I'm getting ready to send all kinds of emails tonight. Okay, so how do I get in touch with you if I need to talk to you about this?
So like, what can I do?
Fran is
That's a
joining the science division.
I am.
that's a whole.
I am.
I think we just found that the other angle for STEAM superheroes is the science vacations, working science vacations. And
Yes.
we got adults in this audience who need something to do for a week or two.
That's a wonderful idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I would do that. I would go on a science
Yeah,
vacation.
me and I do.
Yeah, we're thinking about that now because we have
I got
scientists and
you.
stuff. We can do some really cool stuff.
I want a white jacket. I want to take one of those pipettes and start
It's
squirting it and
it's
stuff.
gotta come with a lab coat though. I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
have
yeah.
a white
No,
lab
you know
coat.
what? I want mine to be in the cave with Aidyl. Like,
Yes.
I will go in a cave for a week. I'm telling you.
I'm about a
Arctic
week,
or the
but I'll
cave?
do 3 days.
She's a true Trekkie,
got
boy.
you.
You want to get in a cave.
I love
Oh,
the
I mean,
caves. Let me
Arctic.
tell you, the first time I went into a cave with my friends, like they were just like, okay, because I was in AmeriCorps. I was in like the first year of AmeriCorps on the first program of AmeriCorps to open, right? And they were like, my friends were like, we're gonna go camping, and I'm a city girl who had never been camping before, and they were like, we're gonna go camping and we're gonna go caving. I said, what the hell? I said, excuse me. I'm sorry, Black people don't go into the woods with a whole bunch of white people. We don't come out.
Right. That's right.
It never works out for us.
We're the first to go,
Thick as hell.
We're the first to go.
Generation would
But-
not be out on any campground. No way, Jose.
No way. No way.
But
I don't care
did it.
how big that flashlight is, Adele. Adele. I'm sorry.
We're gonna have to
did
make
it.
some new memories for the youngins. The youngins.
I did it and I loved it. I loved every second of it. I got in that cave and it was the coolest thing to be slipping and sliding around and going through these little spots. And there was a part where like the ledge was like just a couple of inches underneath my foot, but I couldn't see it and I was going out backwards. And my friends were like, just put your foot down. And I was terrified. I was like, no, I'm gonna fall. And they were like, just a half an hour later, I finally went, bloop. I was like, oh, that was it. And they were like, Jesus.
That does not sound like the story I just told you about the game. But it's a whole different outcome. Let me just say that was not my experience in the cave.
Oh, look at the flashlight.
Okay.
So this is the UV heavy light. So this is why I'm not gonna post it. So this is I don't know if you can see. So it's
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
what
Yes.
you see hidden.
Oh well,
And
that might
I'm
be
not
another.
kidding. So
All
this
right,
is
I
a
get equipment.
microscope. Yeah, so I have microscopes. You guys should see up down to tardigrades. Like I can show you pictures, worms, and you can
Tardigrade?
analyze. Oh yes. Oh my friend.
What?
Tardigrades are
I don't know.
part of their friend.
That might get me to come.
Yeah.
See,
I might be coming in there with a
caves
disco
are
shirt
cool.
on.
Caves are cool.
No,
So
I'm sticking with the lab coat. I'm sticking.
So the sisters will have purple lab coats. It's already been told. That's what we said.
Yeah.
So and then we'll get flashlights. And what was that little thing you had? What was that thing you had?
And that was a microscope, Shorty.
Yeah.
And a microscope, yes. So and the thing is, not the lab coats, because we're going
Fran, come
caving.
on. Fran,
Okay,
let's go.
Okay,
Let's
so
go,
I
Fran.
got
We're
you.
going.
Let's
Yeah.
okay.
Flashlight.
SyFy Sisters Assemble. We're going to the cave. So
Yes.
we are going. No, we got this. I'm going to call Sabrina Thompson. So she created these flight suits. So she made our caving suits because you don't want to hurt yourself. Oh, you gotta look her up.
Bathing suit.
Purple. Yes. So she will make it purple. We're gonna ask her, and we'll make an expedition. Oh
That's
my
what I'm
gosh!
talking about.
I'm so excited. Oh my god! And it proves that you can actually contribute to innovation and contribute to the research that is going on. And it doesn't matter how old or how differently abled or anything, we could do it. Oh, I'm so excited.
See what you
Field
started, Fran? See what you started?
I know. So one thing real quick for anybody, real quick, if anyone's going to be in Vegas, we're going as fans. We're not having a table.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
not going as Team Superheroes, but most of us are going to be in Vegas from Team Superheroes, most of the scientists. And Marion actually lives there, so she's going to be hanging out at the Star Trek convention. So if anyone's going to be there,
She will be at the SyFy Sistas table.
Yes, I will.
Yep,
She
yep,
will.
yep.
And-
She will. She'll come to
And
the
all of
table.
you, I want to just put, Linda, just 1 minute. I just want to put this out. If you're going to be, if any of you guys Team Superheroes, if you're going to be in Vegas, please let us know. We would love to have you guys maybe for an hour, come sit at our table. We can't have you sign anything because of creation, but if you want to come by for an hour or a half hour and come say hello to the fans, let us know. We'll put up a schedule when you're going to be there. And then that way we can let our listeners know when you're going to be at the table. So we can work on that. I think everybody in this chat is gonna love that because they want to sign up for the vacation too.
They want
We'll
microscopes.
do that. And
I will definitely be
that are
there.
going.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have a schedule out on especially when Miss Marion's going to be at our table. We'll put we're going to work it out and see what day she's going to be there. So keep looking at the mothership and our Facebook page mostly and Twitter, and we'll have all that information coming up soon.
Yay.
I'm just saying. You know what? All I know now is purple cave coat and SyFy Sistas Assemble.
Look, because our dear SyFy Sistas, Aidyl is serious.
Right? Purple cave coat and SyFy Sistas Assemble.
I know that. I know that.
This is
Come on, JR, you coming too?
yeah. JR said I leaned in too. Tardigrade. Whoa, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm in for that.
That's one of my
it.
favorite words that
Yes.
many of us did not know before Star Trek.
Yeah. Yeah.
Myself included. What's a tartar who?
A tartar what?
Tartar
Oh,
sauce?
wow.
I'm sorry, what?
If you wanna get really cool about tardigrades and how amazing they are. Okay, story time. So okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So like tardigrades, the way they protect themselves, even especially when they dehydrate, they form a sugar around themselves. So that's why they can't, their DNA can't get irradiated. It's amazing. So scientists are actually looking at how they protect themselves, and can that be used for astronauts either as a treatment for radiation poisoning, or even create some kind of sugar outfit that can actually insulate. So it's amazing. And those tardigrades are similar to the worms that I work on. So I could talk about hours, and the person who says Aidyl is serious, that is so true. De verdad. I am so serious.
Verdad.
De verdad.
That's it.
Yes, that is so
Oh
cool.
my goodness.
So we got a couple of new ideas, and we got some important things to remember. So first of all, Miss Marion in Las Vegas at the SyFy Sistas table. That's hugely important.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Second of all, awesome comic book coming sometime soon, and we will let you know and probably do another show
Oh, yeah,
and let you know. Third, Fran and Aidyl have flashlights that they're waving around. And flashlight. Okay, that's all I can get away with. And fourthly, there's a school to support through STEAM Superheroes, and we're going to make sure that everybody goes to the website for STEAM Superheroes
And
Right.
donate. Please
and
donate.
donate.
Yes.
And donate.
So now you're the one saying donate. Last time it was me. Yes,
And
please
fifthly, we have a new call to action, and it says, "SyFy Sistas Assemble."
I love it. Oh, it has to be this.
Oh yeah.
I love it. Oh, let's do it.
Okay, did I
Okay.
cover everything?
I think so. I think that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are so wonderful. I mean, I want to thank you all for being here and bringing so much joy to us. And I just think that it's going to be, this is a great endeavor. We're really, really proud to have a small part to play in helping you all and getting you guys out there. And and you're all amazing human beings. So we're really delighted to know each and every one of you. Thank you.
I think we did miss something.
Did we?
Linda,
Did we miss something?
do we have another announcement? SyFy Sister announcement with Steam?
Oh yeah, I
Superheroes?
hadn't got. Oh, do we have another one?
Linda.
Linda?
You're
Linda?
muted.
No, the big one was just that we're going to have Aidyl's going to be wearing your T-shirt.
Have we been named to some kind of board or something?
Well, yeah, you need to send me your information.
I
They're-
did.
yeah,
I did.
you didn't give it to me. I didn't get it.
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
did.
we'll leave that information for another time. Right? We'll
Making
move
it
on.
official.
It's not official yet, so we'll move on from that one.
No, you are official. I just need to get you on the website.
All right, so you can announce it then.
Yeah, so SyFy Sistas is actually going to be joining our board of advisors. because we just absolutely love them, and we're just so excited to be able to work with them and all that. So I will eventually have them on the website. I'm just waiting for the information, and yes, they will absolutely be part of Steam Superheroes, because they are Steam Superheroes in their own right with everything that they've done with the show and for Star Trek. So they're examples of and anybody can be a superhero.
Everybody's a
We're
superhero.
all superheroes in
We
my
are
book.
superheroes. That's right.
That's
I love
right.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, we feel very honored. I mean, like I said, this is something I'm very proud of. I think we all kind of talked about this a long time ago, that we were very proud to be associated with you guys. And thank you. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
We're just thrilled. Like I said, we're thrilled. And again, I think Steam Superheroes is an example of what Star Trek did, because honestly, that's the connection for all of us.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
every single person on our team, every single one, their life was changed because of Star Trek.
Oh my God, that's so true. I'm sorry, but Jamal's comment made me laugh. So sorry, Linda. I didn't mean to be laughing.
Right. Well,
Hey,
we have
I know a really good comic team if you need them. If you want
Okay.
a comic team.
Hey, you know some guys?
Well, so do we now.
We got a new family member, right?
That's right.
Nudge, wink,
Right.
wink, Robert.
Nudge, wink, wink.
Just bring out the space table and some barbecue. I'm good.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Right.
He
Right.
said it's time
And
for
I
the
just want to
cookout.
say that it was Marion who helped me find the comic team. So that was Marion who.
Yes, I reached out to a friend of mine when I knew we needed some, and asked him, if we could get in touch with him to talk to him about it. And he, I guess, thank you, Robert. So.
I mean, thanks to you. Thanks to y'all. Like,
Yeah, he's a very good friend, close friend of the family. So I'm glad he found you, and I'm glad you were able to come on board.
Yeah, I'm hyped. My heart is full. Like, from this conversation. Like when Linda said, yeah, I know the SyFy Sistas. I was like, wait, what? And it was just, that's been my career. Like things just kind of intersecting at all the right times. So
yeah,
like I said, my heart is full because I love Trek. I love Trek. Like I said, I was watching Star Trek Enterprise as like my comfort watch or whatever before even hopping on here.
Yep.
So this is perfect for me, and I hope to use my skills to kind of bring this comic to life. So Min and I are excited. We're excited to be working on this.
I can't
Will
wait.
you be in Las Vegas? You'll be in Las Vegas, Robert?
I hope so. When is the event?
The first August 1st to the 4th.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll let y'all know.
Yeah.
But I would love to.
Yeah, if you do come, please make sure you give me a ring, and that way we can get you at the table for maybe an hour or so. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
I love it. So we have a few announcements that we need to make also.
Yes. Do you want me to start?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the first announcement I want to make, everybody, is that the Ore Silversmiths, the producers of the lovely SyFy Sistas jewelry that you see on me, and also that was featured at the top of the show, is now the official sponsor of the live shows. So, yay, Ore Silversmiths, the official sponsor of the live show. We're so grateful to them. And if you want some beautiful new accoutrement.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Now you went too much.
Okay. Anyway, follow their website for Ore Silversmiths. Thank you. That was my announcement. Sister Yvette, what you got?
So here at SyFy Sistas Inc., as you know, we have the live show featuring us, the SyFy Sistas, and we have 2 Moons and a Microphone featuring our friend Tanya, who does the Elquest podcast, 2 Moons and a Microphone. And we talked about, I guess when we brought Tanya on, that we weren't finished, that we were going to have some more stuff coming. So we just want to bring you this little ditty.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sabrina Wood, and you may already know me as the Cinnamon Cinephile from my 5x5 podcast or my Facebook page. Or you may already know me as Sister Sabrina from the SyFy Sistas podcast. Whoop, whoop. Well, I'm about to merge my love of films with my love of science fiction into a new live show here on the SyFy Sistas YouTube channel called Sin Goes Sci-Fi. Ha where I am going to go into the credits behind the scenes and spill the tea on some of my favorite B blockbuster or BIPOC science fiction films. Now, I'm going to have a few guests join me, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So to get ready for this, what I want you to do is hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you on July 17th.
Woohoo!
Wow!
Yes.
Like Sin goes sci-fi dope. Second of all, did y'all see that video? Oh my word! Who made that video?
I mean,
It was
you know who it was.
Pickalicious. It was
You know who did it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to talk movies.
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna
Yes.
start it off with some really cool ones. These are all my favorite films. I've got some of my favorite people joining me, and we are just gonna go into really deep dives. We're gonna go with Akira. We're gonna go with A Brother from Another Planet. We're gonna do Fantastic Voyage. We're gonna do it all and tell you all about this stuff from a perspective that you may not have known. So stand by for that. July 17th.
Oh, I'm gonna be in the house. Franny T, you and me gonna be popping some popcorn together, girl.
You're gonna be working. What you talking about popcorn? You better
Popping popcorn. You got work to do, sis.
I have work to do. That's your show. I'm sorry. Check. Sabrina show. Check.
So
That's a good show.
Sabrina's show is coming July 17th, like she said. It'll be on Wednesday. So SyFy Sistas Inc. will be your place to be on Wednesday night at 9:30. It'll be Wednesdays. Either one Wednesday will be Two Moons and a Microphone, and the next Wednesday will be Sin Goes Sci-Fi. So Wednesdays. You know, we're always on Tuesdays, but you know, we don't have a set schedule, so we just go on whatever. So it should be great. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I'm so proud of you.
I can't
Sabrina.
wait. Thank you. I know Jamal, right? Jamal, you gotta DM me some movies you want me to do.
He got 2 of them already. Akira and Fantastic Voyage.
Those are he can't wait to see those.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Fantastic.
a great list. I can't
Yeah.
wait, Sabrina. This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
So,
I can't wait to see Akira. I can't wait to see you do that. So that's
mhm.
gonna be good. Yeah, I'm so
Yeah,
proud
that's a
of
great movie. It's a great film.
you. Yep. So that's it. That's what we got.
Yep, that's
That's a
the
lot.
show. I know it's a lot. You guys, thank you everybody again for coming to visit us. I don't know, Fran, where did you go? Why are you running away in the middle of
He's
the show?
always
What
out of the
is
screen.
going on?
There you
with
go. There you
Okay.
go. Brother from
Brother
another
from
planet.
another planet. Okay.
Love it. That's a good one.
Yeah, buddy.
That's
That
a good
needs
one.
to be.
Yep. So anybody, oh Lord, like we lost Sabrina again. Guys, it's going downhill, so it's time to go.
It's time to go.
That's it. It's a wrap. We love
a
you
wrap.
guys, and thank you again. Thanks everybody for listening and watching out there. Thank you all for donating. Please, JR got the donations going. Let's keep it going. And thank you, Steam Superheroes, for being with us. And Miss Marion, thank you for being with us. Law, we love you. Peace, love, and hair grease, family.
That's it. Bye-bye.